Okay, everybody, it is me. It's still me. I can't even believe it. Let's talk, people. Sit back and just enjoy the freak show. And it may get really freaky if I decide to, have some kind of meltdown, which I have certainly been known to do. So here we are. Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. People, what a day here. Record highs for the stock market really across the board. Are you ready for this? Dow Jones Industrial Average, new all-time record high. S&P 500, new all-time record high. NASDAQ, new all-time record high. And the Russell 2000, new all-time record high. People, to me, never before, literally in the history of the world, has a stock market been more overvalued than today. But don't think for a nanosecond that it makes any difference at all. No. I've explained to all of you for years, that this market would go record high, record high, record high. Today, record high. All four indices, record highs. Only because, well, I think I have a keen understanding as to the freak show. And it's going to keep getting even worse moving forward. Regardless of whatever happens tomorrow, okay, there's all this anticipation here about what the Fed is going to do tomorrow. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't care what they do, really, or what they say they're going to do. I want to see it. I want to see what they do. And we're going to watch the bond market. We're going to watch the dollar. We're going to watch the MMRI. And it's going to set the stage for what you and I should be doing here moving forward. It's not going to make any difference at all. People, let me talk about this too, because I'm getting slammed with this. This situation here of inflation, it seems that some of you are not understanding that this is a global phenomenon that is occurring. It's not the actions of any one individual here, okay? This is an effort, a deliberate effort by central banks, not any world leaders here, okay? Don't get deluded or believe for a nanosecond that the system that you think still exists, the Democratic Republican system, and then we're a free nation, it still exists. It's to me, it's adorable. It's adorable when I see people, still holding out that hope that the system is real. No, it's not real. Okay, it's insane. But there are some people that I think still believe that it makes any difference as to what thing may be sitting behind the Resolute desk or any other desk for that matter. It don't matter. It's the banks. It's the central banks running the show. They call the shots. We have no representation, period, the end. Anyway, going back to this market here, no surprise to you, I don't think whatsoever. See, here's the deal. You know what to look at. You got these people out here running around not knowing who they are, what they're doing. They're being deliberately made confused. Look here, don't look here, blah, blah, blah. No. You watch crude oil. You watch the dollar. You watch the 10-year yield. You follow the MMRI, and you listen to Greg Mannarino, and you're going to know exactly what's going to happen here, period. I got your back like you cannot possibly believe. You all know that. Anyway, so this issue of inflation is a global phenomenon, okay? It's sweeping the globe. Look, do you think it's by accident, again, that the Federal Reserve has chosen to dollarize the world, not just here in the United States? The U.S. dollar is the world reserve currency. I think this is a pretty much common knowledge at this time. But what do you believe is really behind the fact that the Fed is funneling dollars around the world to central banks around the world who are buying assets with the dollars? Okay? it should be very, very obvious to you. Let's touch on that a little bit. We got a warning today. I want to read this. This is from Bank of America, and I want to put a perspective on this for you. So Bank of America here is warning of illiquidity of an illiquid debt market. Well, let me say this. How can it possibly be, right? Being that the Federal Reserve is issuing debt through one door, buying it back through another door at a feverish pace. The debt-based economic model, for which that is what we have now, demands, okay, for those of you that don't get it here, demands that more debt be borrowed from the future exponentially. Without doing this, well, Bank of America is right. No matter how much cash they create out of thin air, no matter how much debt they buy, the debt market will become illiquid. And this entire freak show is going to implode. That's the nature of the beast. That's the monster, in case you don't know it. So yes, I am actually thrilled here about Bank of America making this warning. Bank of America warns of illiquidity in the debt market, which could lead to a financial crisis. Really? How about duh? Really? Do you get it? Look, we do not have a wealth-based system. It's a debt-based system. It demands that more debt and more debt and more debt be piled on. Why do you think the last president, okay, borrowed into existence like $8 or $9 trillion? The one before him did the same thing. The freak we have now must do the same thing. No. He must borrow more. And the next freak, whoever it may be, that is put behind the Resolute desk, he or she or it will have to borrow even more. That's the nature of the beast. Why do you think that debts and deficits are ballooning, people? You think this is just something that Greg Mannarino makes up out of his head? He just comes up with this because he's delusional? No, because that's how the system works. Do you understand? We do not have a wealth-based system. It is a debt-based system. And a debt-based system demands, and freaking demands that more debt be borrowed into existence in greater and greater amounts just to sustain where we are. The moment, again, we stop doing this, Mad Max, we implode. And Bank of America here, I just have to say this. Hats off to Bank of America here for raising awareness that no matter how much debt they borrow into existence, no matter how much debt they buy, it's not enough. It will never be enough. It will continue to grow and grow and grow until this whole thing implodes. This thing that we are in right now is not sustainable. All right, people are sitting around here, cheering about, another record high across the board with the market in these imbeciles. I told you I was going to lose it early in this video. These sub-moron, imbecile things that you will find on the mainstream media with their smug faces. They're all so happy about this, but it's not real. The market has never been more overvalued than it is right now. The debt market, hyper bubble, it's going to keep going. Until when? Until it doesn't. And when it stops, forget about it, people. The entire landscape of the financial world is going to change, and it's going to wreak havoc on the world by design, okay? None of this is by accident. We are being brought to a precipice, a time that people are going to talk about for thousands and thousands of years after it occurs. And we're in the eye of it right now. We are in the eye of it. So you just wait for this thing to unfold. If you're not in the right spots when this thing goes down, well, you're just done. You're just absolutely freaking done. So I already told you about inflation here going global. I already told you about the stock market. Look, I wrote this stuff down earlier today. I'm just sitting here writing stuff here. We've never seen it before. A market as overvalued as it is right now, where nothing matters anymore. How upside down does it need to be, people, where we have, every week round after round after round after round of bad economic news. Our economy in free fall as a percentage of GDP, and the market just keeps going higher. Does it make sense to you? All of these dollars now around the world coming home, chasing the same amount of goods, this global phenomenon. This is, again, this is a global attack on the middle class. This isn't just an attack here in the United States. People, I don't know how else I could pound this into your freaking heads out here. But if you're a member of the middle class, you have a target tattooed on your face. All right? You're being eliminated. You're being eliminated. And you can't do a damn thing about it unless, of course, you take action now. That is, betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank, getting on the opposite side of the hyper bubble. I don't know what else to tell you, people. I really don't. I think you have a really good perspective. In fact, I can't imagine there's another person anywhere that has a better perspective on this than you do if you follow this blog. How many people understand the debt market the way you do after watching this video? The nature of the beast, how it works, why more debt must be borrowed into existence in greater and greater amounts, why every subsequent president must borrow more cash into existence and look for any reason to do it. Look, I explained this to you under Obama, under Trump, and now under this guy. People are sitting here aghast at all the money that this new freak wants to, just create out of thin air, trillions and trillions. Look, they will do anything, okay? You have to understand, every leader, and that includes Trump, okay, is a slave to the central bank because they don't want this thing to come down on their watch. So they allow central banks to go buck wild. In fact, they called upon them to borrow more money into existence here. Some presidents, like the last one, even was calling for negative rates, was calling for a weaker dollar. How would that have made your life any easier? I don't think it would have. Sure would have helped the stock market, though. That's all they cared about. This particular guy right now, and all of them, they look for every reason imaginable, things you can't even dream about, to borrow more cash into existence. They just make up things, whatever it has to be. Oh, we're going to send money over here. We're going to send money over here. We're going to fund this thing. We're going to fund that thing. We're going to send billions of dollars into big pharmaceutical companies so they can develop drugs. We're just going to give it to them. Whatever they got to do, okay, to make sure the mechanism remains the way it is. So more cash can be just created out of thin air. People, they're going to do things you can't believe moving forward. Okay? Just like the current freak show, the freak show before that, and the freak show before that. You have to understand, in '08, what was the market trying to do in '08? It was trying to correct to fair value. It was not allowed to do that, okay? The Federal Reserve here, our so-called representatives here with the TARP program bailed out the banks who set this entire thing up so they can, finish what they all started as well. You think any of this is by accident? The meltdown of '08, the way that our representatives just, gave all of this trillions of dollars away here, and they continue to do so? You think that none of this was an accident? Nothing's by accident. Nothing is a coincidence here. And the same thing will happen yet again. If it need be that the government, the fake government, needs to bail out the banks yet again and corporations and everything else, of course they're going to do it. Because, again, this is a new paradigm I told you was coming. This is a new merger here between corporate America, corporations, and this new government philosophy, which has yet to be defined. Fascism comes to mind. It's an incredible thing. Warp speed vaccines and control mechanisms, face diapers, all this dog shit. You think this is all just by accident too? All this stuff just happened to come about right now? You think the global economy was shut down just because of an accident? Because of a chance event? Really? You think so? How about no? How about none of this, okay? They shut down the global economy purposely to allow central banks to finish their final solution, people, to own it all, to be the lenders and buyers of last resort, people. This is where, again, you pay attention to the mainstream media. It's, look here, look over here. They're not talking about how the Fed is running their inflation creation machine. Oh, no. We're seeing inflation because of rising energy prices, because of supply chain disruptions and shortages. Bullshit. Okay? At its core, this is the Federal Reserve, central banks around the world who are working in concert right now to bring about the end. The end here, a new paradigm, a new world order. Wake the freak up. Anyway, gold today fell under some pressure. Silver fell under some pressure. Cryptocurrency is doing really, really well. All right, people, you know what to do. All right, I got your back. I got you covered. You know what to do. You're going to be in this market because it's going higher. And if it falls at any time, tomorrow or next week, until I tell you, otherwise, you will be buying these dips. And the dollar is going to tell us what to do. The 10-year yield, the yield curve itself, the MMRI, all this is going to tell us what we need to be doing. The Fed, I don't care what they do. Taper, no taper, it don't matter anymore. Nothing matters anymore. There's nothing real anymore here. Okay? I know you get it if you follow this blog. But I tell you, it's just out of control. And I want to, one more time, I want to tip my hat here to Bank of America for, I guess, raising this red flag with regard to illiquidity in the debt market. It's never enough. It will never be enough. So absolutely, Bank of America, kudos to you. At least it's not just coming out of the mouth of Gregory Mannarino. Anyway, I'm out here. People, look, long video. Love you a lot. Please share this stuff. Think about what I covered here in this video. Does it make sense to you? Does it really make sense to you? How many believers are left in the old system? It's dead. It's dead, people. This is a new thing. I told you this was coming from years ago. A new set of rules, a new paradigm. Well, we're here now. Anyway, I could go on and on probably for another hour and a half, but I think I'm going to stop. Please share this stuff like I said, and I'll see you in the morning.